Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Ordinary Daily version of the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Thursday. Forgot there for a second. May 16th. We have 73 days left until Ironman Lake Placid. I got to tell you, I think it was it Gary Talamini? It was either Gary or Brian Yarbrough the other day posted on Twitter. I think it was Gary. After we had that discussion about trying to lose weight and me not eating cookies anymore. Now, there's something behind the cookie story. I do want to tell you about the cookie story because I don't think here's a funny thing. When I do this podcast, guys, it's usually like 5:30 in the morning. Today, I'm a little bit later. But I would say about 2 hours after the podcast, I kind of forget every single thing I said on the podcast, and I'm not sure if I said it before or not. So I may have kind of described this before. So the thing is, we go to Costco and we buy these, 20 packs of cookies for Sam, and they're usually like Oreos, Chips Ahoy, Ritz with cheese, Ritz with peanut butter, and Nutter Butter cookies. They're all mixed up. And the thing is, she really likes the Oreos and the Chips Ahoy. The Ritz with cheese she likes, but she'd pass on that, I think, if she had her choice. And the other two peanut butter ones. The thing about the peanut butter ones, with all the peanut butter allergies out there, if she takes a peanut butter snack to school, she has to sit at the segregated peanut butter only table, which I don't think she likes doing. She says she doesn't mind, but she doesn't, she never actively seeks out the peanut butter snacks. So what winds up happening is the peanut butter snacks sit there, and I know that they're just there, and they're kind of just going to sit there. They're there for the taking, and I take them. So that's been the problem with the cookies. And I think it was either Gary or Gary wrote hashtag 75-day no cookie challenge, and I'm up for that. I'm good with that. And I tell you, back in January, Stefany and I went on the Whole30 diet, and we were kind of militant about it. Not militant. I would say we followed most of the tenets. I think there was a couple nights I drank wine, but a couple, for the most part, we stayed to it. And that included the cookies. And for some reason the month of January, I was able to just stay away from that box of cookies. I just never approached it. It's like a mindset that you get in, right? It's like a mindset. The cookie's bad. So, I was able to do that. So, unfortunately, the last couple of months, it's like one day you're like, I'll just take one. And then the next, couple of weeks later, you're like, maybe I'll take two today. Before you know it, you're just, chowing down on cookies all day. And it's like the kind of thing that sneaks up on you because they're not like giant packs. They're little bags, but, eat 3 or 4 of them in a day and you're adding the calories, and not good calories either. A lot of those things are trans fats and bad stuff. So yeah, and I think, one of the things I talked about the other day that really kind of, it was something I said that I wasn't really actively thinking about, but it came to me was, I was looking at my output, my wattage from the bike and versus my weight and versus the weight of other people, and thinking, man, like if I lost the weight, I could possibly be pretty good at this. And I never really got to enjoy saying that. I've always kind of compared myself to myself, and that competition versus yourself is fleeting in how you handle it, right? It's one of those challenges that you take in the sport of running or cycling or triathlon, where if you're just competing against yourself, it's like, yeah, some days you really want to beat yourself. That sounds terrible. But we're going with it. Some days you really want to beat yourself. Other days you're just like, I'm just training, trying to get a little better than I was yesterday, or, maybe you're not even training. You don't care as much. It's fleeting. It's fleeting. And, you can kind of hit the motivation with events like trying to redeem yourself from a DNF. I've done that many times. Or trying to achieve something you've never achieved before, finish a race or a distance you've never achieved before. But that competition with yourself can sometimes be fleeting, I find, for me. So it was kind of interesting, and really, over the last, I would say 48 hours, it's consumed me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of consumed me a little bit. Like, that's been my mindset with as I've approached eating. And we've talked about that before, where it's like, all right, when you eat something, you should think to yourself, all right, what is this doing for me? And I've really been asking myself that question every single time I've eaten over the past, I would say 48 hours, ever since I got this idea, like, hey, maybe I could be decent at this sport of cycling. And really that never hit me with running. The thought that I could be competitive at all in running never really hit me because, I just have never, I look at people who are faster than me and I'm like, I can't do that. I'm not that fast. I've never been, when I played football in high school, I think my 40 time was like a 4.9, which is all right for a high school kid. And I played quarterback. So it's like, okay, it's not like I wasn't super fast. But I wasn't super slow either. I was kind of in the middle, and I was never going to be a 4.5 or a 4.4 guy or anything like that. I was always, I just that speed. I feel like I'm not capable of that. Maybe I am. I don't know, but it would take a lot, and I've worked hard at this for a number of years, and I'm even with the distance running, like I'm not getting faster than I am, and I'm putting a lot of work into it. It's very difficult. I think about things like qualifying for Boston, and I'm like, wow, what a great goal that would be. I'm so far away from that. And it almost seems like it's not that it's unattainable, but it's long in the distance, finishing something like that, achieving something like that. And I've put in some really good months and really probably about a year now of hard work. And I don't think I DNF'd the marathon in February. It's bad. So I think that this, it's kind of fired me up a little bit. I'm really excited about it. Just kind of like this mindset of how good could I be if I just dropped the weight? And so all of a sudden I'm not taking the cookies and I'm finding it easier not to take it. So, you get your motivation from different places at different times, sometimes unexpectedly. And this is certainly something for me that, hey, I'm going to embrace it while I have it. Yesterday, Stefany and I and Ellie went out to Boston. We met with Samantha Watson, the CEO of the SamFund. If you guys see my new sweatshirt that I haven't taken off in about 24 hours, cancer is not free. On the back, it says the SamFund. I got to tell you, I wasn't so sure what we had planned. I kind of was like, all right, we're going to get in, we're going to hand her a check, we're going to videotape it, do like a little kind of press conference type thing. And then she's probably going to be busy, so we're going to have to hightail it out of there. But man, what a nice crew of people she has over there. Patrick, Michelle, great people. We just kind of went down there. Of course, Ellie needed a diaper change as soon as we got there, and it was not a pretty one either. She really needed a full clothing change, if you know what I mean. So, I got there. I actually had to go to the men's room, and then I came out. And when I came out, my baby's like just out on the floor. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. But, after we got going and chatting, we did our little presentation. Samantha couldn't be more gracious to my family, especially my daughter, who I don't think she would let go of if I didn't pry her from her hands. But we had such a fun time. Went out to lunch with Samantha after. We talked about the race, talked about the future of the race. I'm so excited about it, guys. I really am. And I felt very proud, I guess the word would be, to hand over that check to her. Cause I know she's going to put it to good use. And we'll have a video of that coming out. I got to tell you, that's another thing. I have a lot of stuff piled up here, guys. I did an interview with Ryan Chikuski. I'm still processing that. I got this video with Samantha Watson. I'm still processing that. Want to do an interview next week that I have lined up. And then I got one I want to do the week after that. Man, it's just like everything's piling up. And oh yeah, I got to train. So let's turn to training for yesterday. Because yesterday was kind of a weird day. And I don't know if you can tell, but like my voice is a little bit hoarse. I feel like I'm coming down with something. And I didn't really feel it till yesterday when I was driving home. Stefany was sleeping. Ellie was yapping in the back. And like my throat's getting a little bit sore. And when I got home, I know driving can kind of take a lot out of you, but I felt like it really took a lot out of me yesterday. I just was beat down. And 9.5 minutes. And I felt like really beat down. And I had some plans, and I got home at like 3:00. I had to go pick up Samantha around 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. So my time was compressed. And when I got home, my original thought was, let's go to the park and do the hills, because that was the plan. I could not get moving. I felt exhausted. My body felt run down, and I'm thinking, geez, I got to do these hills in the park, and then I got to run and get Sam, and I'm going to be sweaty. It just was messy. And the sweaty part didn't really bother me. I don't mind showing up to pick up my daughter in gym clothes. That's fine. I'm just saying, I felt run down. I never got anything done. I never did the yoga. I napped probably for like 10 minutes. I felt like I had all this stuff to do. And then I couldn't do it. Like I was so exhausted, and maybe getting sick. I still think maybe I'm getting sick. So I wound up, not doing anything, picking up Sam. I was supposed to make dinner. I was just like, I don't feel like making dinner. So I didn't. We went out. I went out to the store and just bought sandwiches. And then, at like 9 o'clock at night, I'm just like, I can't let this night get away from me. I can't, this is, and it's weird. I got this mind frame that it's like, I can't go down the path that I went last year. And the path that I went last year was, I got frustrated with my weight because it wasn't going down. I would make any little excuse not to work out. If it got late, I would go to bed and convince myself that going to bed early and getting that sleep, while it is important, convince myself that it was more important than getting the work done. And then I would either somehow make it up the next day, which I already have a big day planned usually. So how are you going to make it up? You can't really make it up. Or that it wasn't going to affect me at all anyway. So I'm concerned about that. So I decided yesterday that we're going to flip-flop days. Today would be the running the hills day. And last night I did a hill workout on Zwift, an hour and a half on the bike, which was very intense. It was good. Very good, actually. So I felt good about that. The only thing is then you shower afterwards, and I look down, it's like 11:45. And then once you shower after your workout, you can't really go right to sleep. You got to kind of come down from all that. I probably didn't get to bed till like 12:15. So that's why I'm a little late this morning and not on much sleep. But excited. I am excited, guys. I'm like, excited about where I am in training and excited about hopefully losing some weight before the race and staying in shape. Excited about no cookies. Excited about seeing the SamFund, having all this work to do. I got a great message from Nick Cumbo over at Ascension Multisport, about helping us out with our giveaway. When we're going to do like a really super early registration for next year's Ordinary Marathon. So excited about the giveaway. Excited about Ben Hinton's race. He's doing a race through Scott Frassard. You can find it on Forever Home Running. One thing I'm not excited about was we did the interview with Samantha Watson, and I named so many people that helped out, so many people that donated to the cause. And the guy I forgot was Scott Frassard. And I had it written on my paper right there. It's one of those things where you just, again, I thought she was so busy and I didn't want to waste her time. I'm like trying to go through the list, and right there on the list, Scott Frassard, Forever Home Running. And I didn't even mention it. I just kind of glossed over it. So apologies to Scott. I will get it on the video, though. I promise. I'll get you mentioned on the video. It does so much good work for us. So, if you're interested in the virtual race, Ben Hinton puts on a good one. So let's, take a look at that if you can. I know we do a lot of virtual races out here, and I don't want to, don't want to insult you guys or push you guys too much. I know, and everything costs money. But Ben's a good dude. He really supports our channel, and I certainly I registered, and I'm supporting him and his efforts there. So with that, for today, I got to tell you, I'm still feeling I feel the onset of illness. I got a whole bunch of oranges upstairs. The vitamin C, hopefully, maybe it'll help fend it off. Drink a lot of water. Got to do that. Hopefully, I'll be good to go. The Jets yesterday. I'm driving home. The Jets fire their. I know now I'm gonna divert. Before I divert to the Jets, which will be brief. Today's workout, I'm gonna do lower body, and then we're gonna do the yoga. That's this morning, and this afternoon I'm supposed to run the hills. We're gonna run the hills from yesterday. So, and I got time today. I also got I got a couple other things I need to do, but just personal, I guess, things not worth mentioning. But I'm driving home yesterday, and I find out the Jets fire their GM, their general manager, Mike McCagnon. Now I got to tell you, I think he was due. for a firing anyway. I don't know. I feel like, but here's the thing with the Jets. All along when they hired this guy, they knew that they were going to clear all this cap room this year. This was the year that they were going to make things right by the fans. This was the year that they've set themselves up to make a big splash in free agency. Signing Le'Veon Bell, signing C.J. Mosley. So here Mike Maccagnan is the guy, supposedly this is his hand-picked coach, right? I mean, yeah, Woody Johnson, the owner, makes the decision, but they pick Adam Gase, pretty much his hand-picked coach. He could have had Mike McCarthy. I think the irony here is McCarthy, I think one of the reasons he didn't pick McCarthy was because he wanted his guy. He didn't want a guy that would come in and be like, all right, I'm remaking the franchise myself, and didn't want to compete for the notoriety of changing this franchise around and making it successful. So he brought in Adam Gase for that, and figured Gase will be quiet, good soldier, let Maccagnan do his job. But apparently that didn't happen, and Gase has been very critical, I guess, behind closed doors, which he hasn't done in public, mind you. He's been a good soldier in public, but apparently behind closed doors, they're arguing. There's arguing going on. There's arguments. He's starting an argument. That's my A Few Good Men impersonation. Anyway, so you let this guy stick around after the season. He knows he's got $90 million to spend, something like that. You let him spend it. You let him take your number 3 draft pick, and you let him entertain all kinds of trade offers that he declines to take Quinnen Williams. You let him mold your roster, and then when all that's said and done, you let him go. And it's so New York Jets. It really is. This is why, guys. If you're a Jets fan, this is why they don't ever compete, and they haven't since Mark Sanchez. And I'm sick of the butt fumble thing. I really am. It's so stupid and juvenile. Enough. It's a football play. Do I have to hear it all the time? Every time the Jets make a mistake, I got to hear about the butt fumble. Like it was a play. It wasn't a decision. It wasn't. And yeah, it might be sort of I don't know, what's the word? Indicative of sort of their why they never win. But I got to tell you, Mark Sanchez deserves a better fate than that, because even though he stinks now and he never really became a great quarterback, he took them to the conference championships twice in a row, something I've never seen. And I got to tell you, Jets fans, if you look down on the Mark Sanchez years, then you just don't know. You just don't know. I give that man respect, even though he stinks. He took us to conference championships twice, and that's more than anyone else. Maybe Ken O'Brien did once, or maybe was that Pat Ryan? I don't even remember. But man, enough already. And you know what? But this is it. This is indicative. This is why we lose. It's the fan base. It's the ownership. It's the culture. And that's, that's why it's so ingrained in the franchise. And you kind of hoped that when Woody Johnson came in, that was going to end, but they're a laughingstock. And this is just another episode of that, another indication of that. That's frustrating as a fan, because it just is so stupid. It is so dumb that Woody Johnson's the guy writing the checks. You let this guy go and spend all your money, and now you fire him. How incompetent. How is this guy running a multi-billion-dollar corporation? And he's like, isn't he like the consulate and or the ambassador in the UK now? What the hell? Idiots run the world. This is, it's so funny. I remember like a quote from Charles Bukowski, I think it was. Let me see if I get this right. How come all the smart people are full of doubt and all the stupid ones are full of conviction? And I feel like that's so true. Like, you watch this guy run a football franchise, and it looks so idiotic. It looks like, he does it. He doesn't care. He owns it. And I think, I take that back. I think he does care. He just, is this how he runs his company? Is this how he does it? Because if it is, then I got to tell you, this world is just, this is a microcosm of what the world is. It's like the dumb people rule the world. They're not smarter than you. Everyone's the same dumb. Although I got to tell you, I've been playing Jeopardy lately. I'm crushing it. I think that's what we should do, actually. Instead of presidential debates, we should get all these clowns up on the stage and have them play Jeopardy. I heard this. I'm stealing this from someone somewhere. But I think that this is a great idea. Because then you get to see how dumb these people really are. And you can mix and match party. You could have Democrats do one day, maybe have a Democrats week and a Republican week, and then and then whoever wins, maybe we got to do some kind of like megalomaniac test to make sure that they're not completely insane. And then that person gets to be president as opposed to this election. So, I mean, I would trust Alex Trebek, I think, with Jeopardy politics. I think that we could do this, guys. Let's put this together. I'm just really interested to see how dumb these people really are. Because I have an idea of some people who I think are really dumb. There's no way to test that. You see the debates, but the debates are all, there's ample evidence that they have the questions in advance. And B, they're prepped so much in advance for the answers and what's the right answer and what your policy should be. Some guys blow it. Who was the guy from Santorum? They asked him Rick Perry it was. He's like, I have a 3-point plan, and my first point is this, my second point is this, my third point is, I forgot. I mean, that would be great to have him on Jeopardy. I mean, a guy like that, you figure. I mean, I gotta say that I do that a lot on the podcast. Is I have an idea and then I just completely forget it. So maybe it's just a brain fart. I don't know, but I think that would be a great idea. Great idea. Instead of debates, we do Jeopardy. Anyone up for that? Let's do it. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a day. I had to get my daughter ready for school. She's probably still sleeping. She's gonna get mad at me that I didn't wake her up in time, even though I gave her a warning before. She got to get up and at him. Anyway, guys, get a good day in. I might be coming down with a cold, but I'm feeling pretty good today. Feeling pretty good. Maybe it's this new sweatshirt. Feeling good. Anyway, get going, guys. Have a good day. Remember, every day is an ordinary day. Just takes you to make it extraordinary. Get after it, guys.